Hello and welcome to my Civil War course. My name is Mr. D. Simone, and this course is the American Civil War, the strategies of the CSA Army of Northern Virginia. Now, this course is not about how the war started or the politics of the war at the time. We are going to be strictly focused on the battles and strategies of the Army of Northern Virginia during the Civil War and how they reacted to some of the strategies that the Union Army used against them. So at the start of the American Civil War, Robert E. Lee was a colonel in the United States Army. Now, President Lincoln asked to meet with Lee, and they met in Washington, and Lee was offered to be the general of the United States Army, where he would be the commander of all the troops. Now understand, Lee was born and raised in Virginia. His loyalties were to the state of Virginia, but he was bound by duty to the United States Army, so Lee was very conflicted. He had to make a choice, and back then things were different than they are now, because your loyalty to your state was extremely important. You were usually born in that state, you usually lived there your whole life, and you died in that state. So Lee had to make a tough decision. His decision was that he could not bear arms against his homeland of Virginia, so he chose the Confederacy. Now, during that first year, Lee was a military advisor to Confederate President Jefferson Davis. And during that first year of the war, the Union Army of the Potomac was led by General George McClellan. Now, McClellan was not really interested in fighting. He thought that the Confederacy had more troops than the Union Army, which was not true. So he was afraid to engage with the Confederate troops, so he was very hesitant on attacking the Confederacy. Now, he did make his way down near the capital of Richmond, and the Union Army was outside of Richmond, and they had superior numbers and could have easily defeated the Confederates. But McClellan was just too cautious, and he was hesitant to attack. So as we go into the first battle, the first battle of the Army of Northern Virginia, which was at Seven Pines, the Confederacy is protecting Richmond, and the leader of the army at that time was was General Johnston. He was the leader of the Confederate Army, and he decided he was going to attack the Union Army. So as we go into this first module, our first battle, we're going to see the Confederacy go on the offensive. Now, Lee doesn't take over the Army of Northern Virginia until after this first battle, because General Johnston does get wounded and Lee is called on to take his spot, and he will lead the Army of Northern Virginia until the end of the war. So I hope you enjoy this course, and contact me if you have any questions. My contact information is on the course introduction page, and have a wonderful time in this class. Thank you.